Well, Rishi Sunak has dismissed dissent over his Rwanda bill by Tory MPs as mere debating society.
You nearly called it a dating society.
Well, make it more interesting. And said he's working tirelessly to get the planes off the ground.
That's right. So, could the rebels cause trouble for Sunak in the new year?
Well, joining us now is one of those. He's the Conservative MP for Bournemouth East, Tobias Ellwood. Tobias, morning. It's not the first time you've been not supporting your government in the division lobbies. What's your problem with the Rwanda scheme as it stands?
Well, thanks for letting me on. Firstly, let's say, start from the top, Rishi Sunak has navigated the party into far calmer political waters and developed a really comprehensive migration strategy, which I think has been overlooked in the last couple of days. It's really reaping dividends. We've got those returns to Albania and Georgia, greater collaboration with France. We're tackling the criminal gangs, and there's new legal migration rules, which I wish it had come in a long time ago, that will see a reduction of about 300,000 in net migration. These are all good things. I'm really sorry to see how the flights to Rwanda have become so totemic, an issue to be achieved under almost any cost. The reason why I stress this is it's always been one part of a wider strategy to absolutely tackle illegal immigration. That's what people want to actually see. But it's been elevated to this utopian solution. We've got to get that flight out there. We're going to tackle the small boat problem. It's the hill to die on. And I'm very sorry that is the case, because that shouldn't be. The job of legislators is to scrutinise, and there's some real problems with this bill. That's why I abstained. I can't support any policy that then actually dictates Parliament determining if a country is safe. And that's actually in clause 2 of the bill. Every decision maker must conclusively treat the Republic of Rwanda as a safe country. It's not up to Parliament to make that judgment. And then there's this issue to do with disapplying the Human Rights Act. And then, of course, it puts us in a challenge with the ECHR as well on interim solutions. For these reasons, I couldn't support this particular bill. And I stress, I'm really sorry that it's overshadowing all the other good things that we're doing, not just in this area, but in the other aspects of British policy, given, tackling inflation, dealing with the cost of living crisis, our work in Ukraine and so forth. Bigger stuff overshadowed by flights to Rwanda.
The thing is, Tobias, it's in the paper today to say that 1% of people who arrive on the small boats get sent home again. 1%. And we're spending £1 billion every 100 days on taxpayers' money to house people who arrive by these means. So the frustration of the British public is surely what Rishi Sunak is trying to overcome by what you would see as usurping our democratic or our jurisdiction.
Jurisdiction.
Thank you, Andrew. Jurisdiction for our legal process and our democratic process. But what do we do then if you aren't happy for Parliament to make that decision?
No, I'm sorry, but we're mixing things up here. I just read a list out of things that are actually impacting the numbers. They've dropped by 1/3. We're moving in the right direction. There is no data anywhere that's been accumulated to say that this would act as a deterrent, the flights themselves. The people that you're speaking about that are stuck here, that's a processing issue. Many of them have been stuck there for over 400 days. That's nothing to do with flights to Rwanda. They wouldn't even get on a flight yet until they'd been processed. And we're now looking at that. The Home Office has got more people working on that. But the bigger question here, which we're not focusing on, which we're almost in denial of, is why are these individuals leaving the countries in the first place? It's because governance has collapsed. Security has disappeared completely. Countries that we've wandered into over the last decade or so, Libya, Somalia, Yemen, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, and so forth. And then we've lost strategic patience to be involved. And then we wonder why those countries collapse. And then those individuals then want to come to Europe. The challenge we have in the UK is actually bigger in Germany. It's bigger in France. It's bigger in Italy. It's bigger in Greece. We need to be working with our continental partners to look at the problem at source. Climate change is going to see these numbers that we have at the moment, they will be a walk in the park compared with the biblical scale of migration we're going to see over the next couple of decades.
Tobias, how do you know it's not going to be a deterrent?
I'm happy to be proved wrong. I'm saying that
But why not give it a chance?
At the moment,
Tobias, why not give it a chance?
Numbers-wise, it would deal with 1% of those that are coming this way. But again, looking at the bill, any individual that feels that claims, for example, that they are a homosexual or have political issues and so forth, then their considerations would then move to the courts. So our courts will be clogged up. If they've taken the risk, paid a lot of money to a criminal gang to get across the channel, then they'll be told and instructed, make sure that you make a claim to say that you're not sure of your sexuality, for example. They will do whatever they can to avoid going to Rwanda. And even if those Rwanda flights did get going, they would actually be able to cater, because of the timetabling, for 1% of those making the journey. So you tell me whether that's a deterrent. I'm happy to be proved wrong. But
You're not happy to be proved wrong. But you're not
Songat or gone anywhere to say, is this going to deter you from going to Britain or going anywhere else?
Tobias, you're not happy. Tobias, you're not happy to be proved wrong because you're not supporting the bill. You're not prepared to give it a chance.
I'm not giving it a chance because it breaches international law. It's nothing to do with it. I'm happy with the concept of us taking people to another place. Even the Supreme Court has said that is okay. I'm not happy with supporting a bill that sees the United Kingdom that helped write and define international law. We uphold and craft international law. This bill says, no, we're going to rip up international law. That's not a good look when our world is getting more dangerous, not less, when other countries are choosing to ignore international law, and we're turning around and saying, absolutely,
sure.